This is just a real quick video. My daughter wanted me to get her go-kart running, and I put gas in and the gas just poured out. It's got the Robin, which is a Subaru engine. If you see how the fuel is routed from the tank down to the carb, and you can see that line's been rubbing right there on the flywheel. It's kind of a crappy design without a guard in place or something to hold it in there, and maybe the cover does hold it in there, that cover. But either way, if you've got one of these things, just check that fuel line real quick. If you got your kid or you're sitting there riding around on this thing and it just starts dumping fuel, it's not going to be a good scene. Okay, I got the new line in there, and what I did is I made the line just long enough to where there's no slack, so you can push on it and it can't come over and rub that flywheel. So I guess that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, I don't know if this was the original fuel line on there, if somebody already replaced it once. My guess is it probably already been replaced once and they just made it too long. Because the other thing is with these engines, you got to take the cover off you got to take the cover off and the tank off to replace the fuel line. There's no other way to do it. And if you try to do it without doing that, you're gonna have to make the fuel line too long to where you can get in there and put a clamp on it. I bet you that's what happened. But taking the cover off, it's 4 bolts. I mean, carb is 2. There's 3 bolts holding this on, carb cover, the air cleaner cover, whatever. And then there's 4 or 5 maybe holding this cover on, and there's 3 holding this on. They're all 10 millimeter. I had this little thing right here. I had the whole thing apart in like 2 minutes. So it's really easy to take apart. So if you got to do that, just make that line just long enough. I had to trim it a little bit to make it tight the way I wanted it. But now you can see it's fitting in that little indention. Well, I thought I was done, but something else that's kind of unsafe is this groove right here fits over the fuel line. So when you put that in there, you can see how it kind of cradles that line, right? And to get the bolts to line up, right? I'm putting a lot of pressure on this thing. So this edge right here is pressing on that fuel line. Now maybe I'm supposed to rotate the clamp around, but I think I'm going to take a grinder and just give myself a 1/4 inch extra right here, and then I'll put it back on. I'll be right back. Okay, I did 2 things. I rotated that clamp around. You can see now that it's facing the other way, and I really took a grinder and gave myself some extra room. So now you can see there's plenty of room around that fuel line. Got one of these, check it out. Make sure you're not driving a fire trap. See ya.